we, I want to hop in and see if there's anyone who can come in and ask any questions. But as always, I always want to give a free gift. So drop the word checklist if it allows me to text. What's up, Dion? Let's see if it's not allowing me to text right away. But I'm coming on here so I can make sure that I give you a free gift. The new year is approaching, so we need to get our house and things in order. I don't care what happened the months before, if you were successful or unsuccessful with getting funding. Let's start from right now. Let's start with this free checklist. So all you need to do is drop the word checklist, check your DMs, and download it. You can start there, and it's an exact step list on where you should start. I always get the question, where do I start? How do I start? You start by pulling your personal credit profile, and you start by building a credible business from scratch. It may seem and sound like a lot, but it's not. The checklist, you could just start going down the checklist, checking it off. This can be done. You can have a business developed. You can have a blueprint and all of that and ready to go for 2026. So let's start thinking about that, guys, and stop thinking that New Year's Day is the day you go on that diet. No, if you're coming up under the sound of my voice, New Year's Day is today. All right. I love the idea of my business partner when he mentioned, let's skip Christmas. Okay. And if he does send that $2,000 check or whatever, you need to use that as an opportunity to invest in yourself and move to your next level. That's it. That's all. This is not the time to be pondering and thinking and wishing and hoping and sitting on the sidelines. You need to get in the game. It's happening right now. Neo is here now. AI is going crazy right now. We will be losing 50% of our workforce it's soon, within the next 3 years. We're going to start seeing that impact very fast. And if you think it's a joke, that's how I was terminated on the street 10 years ago. Okay. Technology was changing every 6 months. Right now it's changing every day. You know why? Because robots, when I was in undergrad, what Neo looks like, Google Neo, if you don't know who he is and you're totally checked out, he is for sale and he's in people's homes, okay? $20,000, $500 a month, all right? So it has happened. People are putting job freezes. Companies aren't hiring because they're calibrating their businesses and putting things in order so they will be able to compete. Walmart is one of them. They're not the number one retailer for no reason. So you don't want to be in a position where there's no working class and there's no middle class and the wealth gap has widened and you don't, what other choice? If you're not rich, you're going to go to the poor. Okay. What make America and the United States so great is the fact that we have all these classes. This is one of the only places you can go from nothing, born into squalor and poverty, and become a multimillionaire, become a billionaire. Like we've heard that story over and over again. However, technology is going to impact that greatly. And if you're not paying attention, it is time you wake up. Okay. And consider this your wake up call. All right. So I want you to clean and optimize your personal credit profile. Figure out an opportunity. If you don't have one, figure it out. What should I be doing? Type the word checklist so you can receive your checklist, right? Gonna stay here for a sec. Just so I know that quite a few of you, I'll send you blueprint. Okay? It's a step-by-step guide on how you can bring yourself or build out a brand new LLC for $50,000 to $150,000 in funding, right? You have software, you have ChatGPT, you have things available to you. I need you to understand what age we are in, which is the information age. I myself, I am a product of the internet and I am so grateful. I have a grateful journal. I literally thank God for social media because I was scrolling where I ran into my mentor who told me I could get rid of my bankruptcy funded and start a new company. And I did just that. I was on the ground. I was driving Uber, okay? So I don't care who you are or where you think you are in your life. Any and everything that's possible for someone else in the universe is possible for you. That person is there as an example that that is possible for you, right? With my first business, when I lost it, part of me truly believes that I lost it because I hit a level of success. And when I was offered to share it with the people, I thought about my own personal selfish reasons. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be on the internet. I did not want to have to use that in order for people to like me. That's how I was viewing it at first, in order for me to make sales. And guess what? I ended up here anyways. Okay? I ended up on the internet anyways. My background is tech. I didn't want my face on the internet. I had a crazy profile. And I've even closed people who don't have a profile. Guys out there who don't have a profile picture, I'm okay with it because I used to be one of those people. Other people think that those people are weird. I actually had someone with 3 followers with no profile picture. She's a nurse. She actually enrolled into my mentorship. All right. I remember back in the day, I would block those people because I thought they were bots. But I'm saying all of that to say, a lot of the times what's for you is for you. You can't run from it. I tried to run from it. I did not want to be responsible for or to people. This is a huge, heavy weight. It takes a special person. Sometimes your calling is such and you can't fight it. So if you're having ideas about building wealth for your family, or you want a different life and you want to be an entrepreneur that's successful at a certain level, that's not fantasy. Those are direct downloads from God. And if you're not listening to your inner God to connect with that and move forward, guess what? You're going to find things not working out for you. And that's what happened to me. So if you don't move on what's designed for you in your life, life will move on you. All right? It's just as simple as that. Understand who you are. Figure out what it is you're brought here for. Why are you here? If you don't understand your purpose or create a purpose of some sort, sit down and just make up one. Create a purpose. Because if you don't, you're just going to be wandering around here. You're going to be listening to other people telling you, no, that's not a good idea. You're listening to people whose lives you do not want. And that is not the idea. The idea is to live to your personal best. All right. And I'm here to give you a free gift. So all you need to do is type the word checklist. I will send you a step-by-step guide. Let's call this a Goodwill Black Friday gift, all right, or a Christmas gift, okay? So take the time, follow the checklist. It's going to give you every pointer. You didn't have to pay anything for it. How about that? You know, I remember when I ran into my mentor and I just wasn't there yet. I actually took action on his free stuff. And by the time I got into the mentorship, all the minor steps were done. That's how I was able to just get results so fast. All right. So find someone that can help you get to that level, who you respect and who you trust, and just listen to that one person. When you go hopping from person to person, that's when things get confused. And that's the problem. I think a lot of people, it's so many people out here talking about business credit and funding that you don't know what's what. All right. And I'll tell you what's what. I listen to a lot of people and a lot of that stuff just looks good and it's just for shock value, or they use the right hook to stop you from scrolling and it looked cool and all of that. And it's not even, these people aren't even funding for real. And then other people start mimicking and parroting those people like a parrot. And then you hear the same misinformation over and over and over again. Then you guys go and follow that, and it's unfortunate. So you don't know what you don't know. At least take the checklist as a gift. You can do some damage. I've had people say that for real. They like, hey, is this for free or is this? Then I'm like, no, I want you to be great. All right. So I want you to get a result, or at least my goal is to help you reach your personal financial potential. That's it. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you believe in, what you think is possible for you. Just take that next step, the next best step for yourself. Do not wait until 2026. Get started right now so you have that momentum by 2026. If your goal is to stop smoking cigarettes, lose 20 pounds, do it right now. Get your credit in order. Do it right now. So by that time, the little small stuff is out and you're in momentum. It only takes, what they say, 21 days to make or break a habit. Get into the habit of investing in yourself and making goals. Take any type of thing that you think you need and always be in the position of developing yourself. You know what I mean? Personal goal, financial goal, business goals. These things aren't coming to you on accident. If you have fantasies of being rich and financially free, that is your true self. That is a download. Because you literally have people who think that money is evil and they never want to seek money and all this and that. That's their destiny. You know what I mean? But if you have a destiny and you feel like I should be doing something else, the only thing standing in between you and the goal that you want is fear and your perception of it. Fear not. Fear will have you standing in place your entire life. So when you go out to people who you know are negative and try to have them validate your choice, mistake number one, never, ever let someone else think for you. I don't care who they are. Your mama, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your best friend. I don't care who they are. All right. Have what is known as internal referencing. All right. You going out, hey, should I do this thing? Should I buy this program? But you've already had the desire to do this thing. And then the opportunity presents itself and you get scared. That means you missed the mark. And I feel bad for people who missed their mark. All right. Because you're going to just be resentful and grudgeful and upset because you didn't keep a commitment or a promise to yourself and you didn't have the heart to take your next best move. All right. Going out, listening to people telling you, no, don't do that thing because this, that, and that. And I'll leave you with the story, right? I remember I didn't own any property and I was looking to buy a property. I was so ignorant and young in 2008. It was just that a family member's, a friend's aunt told me I was about to buy a home because I was making all this money at such a young age. And the American dream was graduate college, get a good job, buy a house. So now I had the good job. I'm making all this money. Now it's time to buy and own a home, you know, because that's what they said we should do. By the way, homes are liabilities. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm slated to get this 4-bedroom house built from the ground. And a friend's aunt, God rest her soul, she was sick at the time. I did not know it. She kept it from everyone, but she was just like a blessing to everyone. She had owned a lot of real estate. And I was like, what do you think? Because I didn't know anyone at the time in my family who owned a home. And so I was like, hey, what do you think about this house? And I showed her the blueprints. And it was like a 4-bedroom house. And she was like, oh, I feel like they're overpricing it. It's wood. It's not even brick. So in Chicago, we believe in brick homes, right? She was like, it's not even brick. It's overpriced. She was like, why do you need that big old house? She said, why don't you get like a 4-unit and you live in one of the apartments and you collect the rent and let them pay for it? I was like, house hacking. But that was my first time hearing that. That's why vicinity and information is key. She gives me that bug and I'm like, you're right. Then I can live. I mean, they will pay for it and then I'll be in profit. I get that nugget. So now I'm seeking for a building. I get the perfect building because the crash happens now. I was about to get this house in 2007. I get laid off. The crash happened. Now I'm like, okay, let me get this building. That's a great idea. Find a building. The building went from $560,000 to $280,000. A brand new developed wood floors, 3 beds, 2 baths, 3 units with a basement apartment. amazing. It was like unheard of. But at the time, I didn't know any better. I'm in the deal about to close the deal. I get scared because everybody in my close vicinity, like my family, they were telling me, no, don't buy that house. You know, it's a crash. People are losing their homes. Da, 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 da. I leave out and walk out of the deal. I get to the red light. Something came to me like, why are you asking people who don't own property if you should buy this house? So I called a cousin who I hadn't spoken to in years, asked him like, hey, let me tell you, I got this deal. He like, tell me about it. He was like, girl, if you don't go back and get that house, give me the address and that property, I'll get it. I was about to miss my mark. That was the exact building that helped me along when I lost everything. So you need to listen to your internal self. If it's something that you desire and you need to recognize it when it shows up, move on it. Don't think twice, because this isn't showing up on accident. Have self-belief, have self-internal referencing. Get started on your funding journey today. Type the word checklist. Let's get started before 2026. I love you. Be amazing.